This is the Board of Education special meeting for which adequate notice under the Open Public Meetings Law was provided by written notice on August 29th, 2008 to the Courier News, the Echo Sentinel, the Reporter, the Star Ledger, and the clerks of the Borough of Watchung in the townships of Long Hill and Warren. We've already had a roll call.
Yes.
So we'll just do a Pledge of Allegiance. Right there. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. This is the first opportunity for public comment. Seeing that there's no public, we'll move on to action items. We have action items C1 through C.
We have C11 is mislabeled because we already have a C11.
I'm sorry?
Just a second.
So do we see 14?
C14 make that.
Is this supposed to be C14?
Yes.
So you had 3 C11s that got added.
That's right.
So do we have any items that are C1 through C14 that people would like to pull for separate voting purposes?
This should be C14.
I'd like just to ask a question. Do you think, for emphasis, we should pull maybe the last one for a separate vote? Or would you think it's better just to...
That's a process question. So, Tim, do you think we should vote on that one separately?
I don't think you have to. You can if you wish. I mean, it's all up to you.
I don't think. I think if the vote is one way or another, I think it still sends the same message.
Nobody wants them separated.
Okay. Anybody want to pull any?
C9?
C9. You want to pull it?
Yeah, I can't vote on
Okay, we're going to pull C9 for separate voting.
I will then move C1 through C14, C1 through C8, and C10 through C14.
Do you have a second? Do I have any discussion? Where did Rob go?
Rob!
Who made the second on that one?
I
Sorry.
did.
Thank you.
Jared did.
Back in.
Yeah.
Before we have the vote,
we're in
I'm going
discussion.
to
Go ahead.
I'm going to move C9.
You can't do that.
Yes, I can. Paul, let me move C9.
I agree. We're going to move ahead and move C9. No, we only have one item on the table. You can only do one thing. Sorry. We're good. All right.
Where'd it go?
All right, well, let's proceed forward.
Because we got a quorum.
Yeah, we have a
Just
quorum.
vote.
Is he coming out?
Lou's got to get out. It's 8:30, so let's go.
Vernon?
I told him.
Is he busy talking with people out there?
I'll tell you what. Can we
He's here.
Let's
do the vote.
All right, can we get a vote then on C1 through C8, C10 through C14?
Mr. Binder?
Yes.
Mr. Fallon?
Yes.
Mr. Falzarano?
Yep.
Ms. Spector?
Yes.
Mr. Horowitz?
Yes.
Mr. Pepe?
Yep.
Mr. Sun?
Yes.
Dr. Yagat?
Yes.
Dr. Seelig?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Any motion on C9?
Go ahead.
So moved.
Seconded.
Second.
Any discussion on
My
C9?
pleasure.
Can I get a roll call vote on C9?
Mr. Binder?
Yes.
Mr. Fallon?
Yes.
Mr. Falzarano?
Yep.
Mrs. Vector?
Yes.
Mr. Horowitz?
Yes.
Excuse me, Mr. Pepe?
Abstain?
Mr. Sun?
Yes.
Dr. Yagat?
Yes.
Dr. Seelig?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, we have motions D1 through D3. Are there any of those that if anybody wants to pull for separate voting? Note that D3 has been modified to say subject to final attorney review. Okay.
So moved.
Does anybody
Second.
want to?
I'd just like to make a comment that if we really want to specify check number, because if we, under one of these scenarios, we would not do it as one check. So I'm suggesting
It's a good
that we
suggestion,
scratch out
Yes.
the check number.
Can you make a motion to make that amendment?
I'd like to modify item D3, so to delete any reference to a specific check number.
Okay, do those who moved and seconded that agree with that change?
Yes.
Well, who was the
All right.
second? I'm sorry.
Sandy.
Okay,
Sandy
thank
was the
you.
second. All right, then.
Whenever in doubt.
Then, with their indulgence, we're going to
point.
strike out the specific reference to the check number in D3. So it's just going to say approves the release
Or a release of amount.
To release to Cabot Electric. and-
to Cabot, to
Yeah.
release to Cabot Electric in the amount of
If
whatever.
Michael says,
Subject to-
good idea, hold $10,000, does this give him the authority to do that?
Yes.
I think it does,
It's
subject
subject to the full
to
amount.
final attorney
That's,
review.
yeah.
We could,
Yes.
if,
I just want to make sure, because Mike's forward, no problem, it's a great idea,
Yeah,
then
no, it does
Yeah.
give him
Yep.
that.
and any questions
The
then?
other questions I have is the bill list that normally comes on the card will be provided next meeting, or, well, the specific bills though, right?
Yeah, I'll make sure that's,
So maybe bill list, right? Not the bill list, but the actual.
The bills themselves.
yes, the POs.
The POs, the review of
Yes.
those that you go through, the requisitions and all that stuff, yes.
Make a note of
Any other questions on D1 through D3? Okay, good. Can I get a roll call vote on those?
that. Mr. Binder?
Yes.
Mr. Fallon?
Yes.
Mr. Falzarano?
Yep.
Ms. Fechner?
Yes.
Mr. Horowitz?
Yes.
Mr. Pepe?
Yep.
Mr. Sun?
Yes.
Dr. Yaget?
Yes.
Dr. Seelig?
Can I just, I'm sorry, there was one question I had on this thing. The $3 million that the note that you paid now, that's now paid off, is there any other bar? I'm sorry, I didn't ask the question.
So, are we still, we're,
It's on the D ones we just approved, but I just wanted to understand. if the
did I
$3
vote on
million
that? I didn't vote on it.
Well, you didn't, yeah.
I didn't get to that. Should we?
Oh.
He was in midst of conversation before I got the, I said, Dr. Seelig? Do you want to vote on that? Everyone else did?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. If
Now,
you have
motion
another
carries.
question, go ahead.
Sorry, I
Can you just
wanted-
ask it later? I mean, do we need to ask it here?
Just wanted to do the bill list, yeah, while we're on it.
Okay.
Just wanted to, the $3 million, is that note paid off now?
Yes.
And that was part of the budget, so there's not replacement notes?
That's correct. We did not renew the note.
Thank you.
Good news. Okay.
Good man.
This is the second opportunity for the public to comment. The public, seeing that there's none here, will move on. We normally have a section P for other business. Is there any other business that people would like to bring up at this time?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't call it other business. I don't know if anyone else saw this. I want to give this to Fran, and I saw at the new teachers hire, speaking with, who's the baseball coach,
Mario.
Diaz.
Barry Diaz, yeah. And there's an article in the Star Ledger I thought was actually pretty fascinating about high incidence of female athletes getting ACL
too.
injuries.
It's been pretty widely reported.
I understand, but it's the article. It's not just the article. There's a whole website. And there's also exercises that
That's what our.
I don't know.
Yeah, thank you, but.
Pass that. To,
We'll pick it up.
it basically
We didn't make the team just
They
then.
basically, female athletes in college, 1 in 10 could be expected to tear an ACLU, and 1 in 100. I don't know how many we've had at this high school, but it's a big problem.
You better, Ryan?
Just one question. Frank, could somebody check with the NJSB about these training requirements? My question specifically relates to people like Paul and I who have fairly long service on other boards of education before this
Yeah.
one. As to-
That's good, it's coming over here.
Everybody, nobody likes the training.
Well, I don't mind the training, but we've been through a lot of it. So.
I know, I understand. You know what, I'll
But
double check
If it puts us
with,
into a different category, such as the, subsequent terms, and we just have to do it in the first year of
yeah.
subsequent terms.
Yeah, that's a little tricky too, because it does not mention if you served on a prior board,
Right.
how that fits into the
We're
requirements.
not careful with the legal training.
So,
And what...
If you could follow up on that, just
yes, I
find out.
will.
It's a very specific question, because it affects a lot of people, which is if you've already been on boards for a long time, it's not your first time, are you somehow excluded, or you don't have to go through the same training? Any other business at this time? Hearing none, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Oh, yes, that would be.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. Thank you for attending. Meeting's adjourned.
What's
Oh,
doing
I'm
with the
sorry, you had one
final,
thing you wanted to follow.
Yeah, I wanted
Payment.
to
Hey,
do-
guys, we're off. We can turn off this. We're trying to do some calendar work here. Can you get the possible date of the 16th on your calendars? Would that be acceptable?
Which date?
The 16th, to have a
Special.
special meeting for construction review?
It's a Tuesday.
Right.
I thought it was on for the 6th. The regular board meeting was scheduled for the 15th, and the 16th was
It was a
listed
hold.
for...
It has not
was a
been
hold,
confirmed.
okay.
We hadn't finalized it, Rob. We're just trying to make sure.
Is
that
the
people
board
are
meeting
doing
on the 15th?
Yeah.
Yes.
7 o'clock?
Yeah.
Then this would be 7 o'clock on Tuesday?
Yeah. Can people make it?
I'm going to be out of the state, so just go ahead and somebody can fill me in.
All right.
Do we
I'll
have a
take
quorum?
notes.
both of them, or
Oh,
just
we
that
don't
one?
have to have
I'm going to make the
We're
Monday.
gonna
meeting.
just not vote.
I don't think we're voting.
So,
No,
We're not voting on
so
that.
we do have a meeting on the 15th at 7.
Yes, we
Right.
do.
Regular meeting. We
Regular
want to meet on the 16th at 7.
Yes. Okay?
7
7, we'll move set up for
Okay, so
7.
that's okay. Thank you.
Let's deal with the...
We're done. Thank you all for attending.